corner of 134th and Mountain View corridor, like the entrance to the city. We'll have a big Target there. More stuff coming. These are corporate entities that have their own agendas, have their own programs, have their own plans, and we say, hey, come to Herriman. We want you in Herriman. We recruit and go out and help entice these companies to come, and this is a big win for us.
Welcome to Herrimanology,
the official podcast to keep up with Herriman City.
We'll take you inside the city, explore the latest news and updates, show you how your government operates, and discuss the issues that affect us all. Now, here are your hosts talking all things Herriman on Herrimanology.
All right, welcome to Herrimanology. It is Thursday, July 10th, and today is a big day.
Yeah, today is an awesome day.
In fact, this podcast might get buried in the algorithm because we have another post that's a little bit bigger today.
Yeah.
Been sitting on it for a minute.
You guys, if you're listening to this, you probably have already seen it out on social media. Today was our big announcement for Target.
Yay!
Cute,
Applause.
yeah.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, seriously. So our groundbreaking was a couple Fridays ago, and we knew then, but it still wasn't officially announced. But Target is coming to Herriman Commons. That's like an amazing, beautiful corner in Herriman, the corner of 134th and Mountain View corridor, right there. The entrance to the city. We'll have a big Target there. Some other cool stuff as well. More stuff coming. More stuff announced here soon. Hopefully, we're looking for it. Yeah.
No, we're not going to jump the gun. No, we're not going to tell you who the other occupants and tenants are. We have some inklings, but we waited until Target was ready to announce before we relayed that. Really, it's their announcement. We're just kind of like, yay, Target's coming. No, we're not going to tell you other tenants who we think are coming because they haven't announced yet.
Yeah.
So you can speculate in the comment section all you want.
You sure can, and you can ask all those no dumb questions, and John will do his best to answer where he can and can't. But again, guys, these are corporate entities that have their own agendas, have their own programs, have their own plans, and we're just the host, and we say, hey, come to Herriman. We want you in Herriman. We recruit and go out and help entice these companies to come. And this is a big win for us. So more stores are coming. We know they're coming. We just don't know exactly who and when we can announce. So
one thing people have been asking is when is all this going to be done? We've been told 2027, everything will open kind of together. We're not going to commit them to that because it's not our project. That's their project and their land and their everything. But we've been told 2027 is when they're expecting to open everything.
Yeah, 18 months to 2 years. If you go out there today, they are moving a massive amount of dirt. They started the day after groundbreaking. They are moving forward on this project. They see how anxious we are, how anxious our residents are. All those emails you're sending to these corporations, they're seeing that. So they're excited to come to Herriman. And so, yeah, super excited.
Something else that Herriman's been in the news for a lot lately, this last weekend, you've probably seen the videos because there's a lot of really dramatic footage. But Saturday night late, there was, for whatever reason, there was a vehicle coming from Riverton, hit a car. We're not going to speculate why. We think we know, but we'll let the official information come from Riverton because they're leading the investigation.
Yeah.
But they hit a car or two and eventually ended up going across the border into Herriman and hit the Domino's Pizza there by 5200 West and 134th South. Hit a gas line, caused a gas leak. It was a really dangerous situation. Thankfully, no lives lost.
Yeah.
The gas leak eventually caused an explosion of that Domino's location. Really, really sad. Thankfully, nobody was inside. And the Jimmy John's location next to that and Supercuts on the other side were pretty heavily damaged. We had some 60-something firefighters there from a lot of cities, including and chiefly Unified Fire Authority. We had, I think, a couple dozen police officers, including from other cities, all responding to that really kind of chaotic and dangerous situation that thankfully no lives lost, plenty of property damage, unfortunately. But yeah, that was late Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah, so that was in my area. I was actually received the evacuation notice. Let's talk on some key points. First, Why Riverton? Why are they heading up the conversation? Why are they doing the investigation? So the incident started in Riverton, and then it ended up crossing the border. So it's typically they take control of where the first incident happened. So that's why Riverton, for the public knowledge and information there. It did complicate a few things on communication back and forth. We all want information quicker than we can get it, especially out of these situations. And it was such an active environment there with the car crash and then the crash into the building and then the fire and the gas leak. And then they have to call out several different companies. They have to call out the city. They have to call out the gas company, the power company. All these other entities have to come and get involved so we can understand the totality of the circumstance. And through that whole process, gas was building up. And then the building exploded. And it was impressive, to say the least. Again, it's still under investigation, still under report. Riverton's handling that. And when they give us a debrief or the final result, we'll have more information.
Yeah. So they'll be the official source of that information. Worth noting, maybe a little nugget that people didn't know, there is a multi-city agency called the South Valley Crash Team, maybe Crash Unit. I don't know the exact name, but South Jordan, Riverton, and Herriman have all dedicated resources to this unit that help investigate crashes. So they were investigating this one. There was unfortunately a fatal crash in South Jordan yesterday that the South Valley Crash Unit was investigating there. So multiple cities kind of joining resources for those sorts of situations. SWAT is similar. We have a South Valley SWAT team.
And our agencies work, the guys on the ground, the boots on the ground, work amazing together. There's no boundaries really in the South Valley. If somebody needs help or call, we're all responding. That's how quick and amazing our first responders are, and kudos to them, to the life-saving skills they performed. And it was a very, very impactful night on Saturday. And maybe the information was a little bit slow. Maybe you didn't get notified. We have a source for that, and we've been broadcasting out a little bit. Not only do we have interagencies that work together, we have a notification for countywide. And if you're not signed up for the Valley Emergency Communication, VEC, you should go get registered for the 911 reverse calls, as well as our own city, Everbridge. And that's on our website for any events, any calendars, for city council stuff, for any newsletters, also emergency communication. And the more people get registered, the better that system will be. So
yeah, we won't go into all the details here because we don't have time, but there are a few different notification systems. There's the iPause one, wireless emergency alerts, which basically is the Amber Alert style one when your phone kind of yells at you, punches through, do not disturb. There's, as you mentioned, the county-wide reverse 911 system. At least that's how everybody knows it. That one is, landlines are automatically subscribed to that, but there aren't very many landlines anymore. So that one is effectively an opt-in system. You have to go to the site, type in your information, and register. Same thing with ours, our Everbridge system, as you mentioned, herriman.gov/notifications. It'll redirect you to the Everbridge site where you can set up your account there. And we also push, if you subscribe to it, general news and event information, construction updates, things like that through Everbridge. But everybody who subscribes gets emergency notifications. But it's important that the people understand you have to take the effort to opt into these.
Opt into the notification systems, especially the county one. You do have to update it if you move. You do have to be involved. There are apps that go along if you want to download apps, but you have to take the action. No time is better than the present to do that. And so please go do that.
Yeah. If you have any questions about how to do that, let us know. communications@herriman.gov, and we'll get you taken care of. In fact, I walked through somebody over the phone this afternoon, who was trying to sign up for Everbridge. They had seen a news article about it. So
that's brilliant. That's a great way. Hey, can I make a quick segue? I don't know if we just got a memo, woke up on the right side of the bed today, but green's a good color.
Look at that.
I know, yeah.
People on the audio side are like, what are you talking about? We're both wearing lovely green shirts today.
Yeah. Mine's a little different green, Basagi, but yours is forest or hunter, maybe. I don't know. Something. I'm a black and gray guy usually.
Nice.
So, yeah, I throw in some color every once in a while.
Nice. There you go. We had a city council meeting last night.
We sure did, yeah.
Total change of direction there, but we're just going to go with it. A couple of highlights. One, is a construction project that'll be coming up. We haven't talked about it much, frankly, because it's kind of been a go, pause sort of project where we've been wanting to build this trailhead over in White Hollow, on White Hollow Drive. And bids kept coming in over budget, so we had to keep trimming the project and go out to bid, and it came over budget. Anyway, there are a lot of, I'll say, false starts on this.
Yep.
But we finally got to a point where we can start to move forward on it.
Yeah, so we accepted a bid and proposal from a company last night in our city council meeting, and it's under bid. It's under our proposed budget, which is great because now we get to value add, and we are looking at adding a possible future restroom up there and some other amenities. Anytime we can get outside and have access to our trails is amazing. But it also takes the parking off the street where it's unintended. So it's been unintendedly parking in front of people's houses. We needed to actually improve this area. And we knew it was coming, but now is the time. And so cool news is we're looking at spring, maybe even sooner than that, to get this project up and going. So there's some cool features, cool amenities. It's going to add value to that hillside, and it's going to increase a little bit more traffic there. But we have a parking lot for it now, and we have possible restrooms up there now, and we have a lot of other things that make our trail access more accessible.
Yeah, so we're not planning on restrooms on day one, but like you mentioned, we'll have utilities stubbed there. So if and when we get to a point where we can do a restroom, just plop it on there, and it's super easy. There will be a challenge staircase straight up the mountain, 156 feet. There are 258 steps. For those of you who are into that, I don't know if I like the idea of challenging myself, but probably about 20 steps into that, I'd be like, this is a lot.
That's the cool thing, John. These are going to be built to where it's going to be bi-directional traffic is going to be easy on them. They're a railroad tie sort of setup, and so once that's built and in, I think you'll have people going out there. Not you or me, maybe. I don't know. My knees hurt.
See.
My knees physically hurt last night when we were talking about it, but I think it's cool. I'll go try it, But I know there's some people out there that love that stuff, and they search for these things, right? And so I think it'll be awesome. So the staircase, and then they've got other trails they're building in and fixing out some other trails development out there.
Yeah, there'll be 70 parking stalls there, some of them with trailer parking. I'll mention the parking lot is going to be made of basically crushed old asphalt. Basically, when we resurface a road, we make a big pile of all that old pavement and crush it up, and then we'll take it to this new parking lot and compact that down. That'll become the surface. So we're reusing some road millings is what they're called that we would otherwise throw away, and we can use this for a parking lot surface.
Reuse and recycle. We have that in some other areas as well already, and it works amazing.
Yep.
So,
and a significant chunk of this will be funded by a Salt Lake County grant. So obviously taxpayer money is taxpayer money, but we're grateful to be able to pull from that county pot and be able to benefit our city and help expand our trail system a bit.
Yeah.
One other thing from the city council meeting last night, the new youth council took their oath of office. They actually do that every year. When a youth council comes in every year, they take an oath.
This is a program for the high school youth, and it ranges all the way from 9th grade up to 12th grade, I believe. But it gives them experience to have some sort of government facilities where there's a mayor appointed through the council. They all have their own little election inside their youth council, and it's these amazing youth that have these yearly projects, and they do service work, community work. I think twice a year we go out and clean up the highway. Done that several times. Councilwoman Orrin is one of those advisors, and she's been amazing at that. You see these youth change from day one to the last day, and when you get to hang around with them, there's a lot of things where these kids learn about city governments, about city work. It's amazing to see these kids and these opportunities that they have, and how that advances their knowledge of city government, city work, and then also what that does for their future on their resume and what their college applications.
And they also do a lot of helping around at city events throughout the year, because we have a very limited staff, so they will come in and volunteer their time and help kind of administer these or help put on these city events where it takes a lot of hands on deck to make them work.
Yeah, and it's part of the requirement to volunteer X amount of hours, and there are scholarships involved. There are some other financial benefits for them, but honestly, I think we get more benefit than they do sometimes as using them as their volunteership. But it changes their lives for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of events, we have a handful coming up in the next few weeks. July is Parks and Recreation Month, and we usually take advantage of that to do Yeti in the Park, which in this case will be the next 3 Mondays. You'll see the Yeti.
Yep.
On site, Monday, July 14th will be at the Juniper Canyon East Trailhead. The 21st will be Yeti in the Park and a foam party, and it'll be part of the Summer Sunset series, a big event, and then we'll come back to that in a second, but the 28th, July 28th, out at Crane Park at the Splash Pad will be another Yeti in the Park, I believe from 1 to 2.
Awesome.
So, yeah, but the 21st, the Summer Sunset series, Yeti in the Park foam party, which you need, it's free, but you need to register for that.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot going on that night.
Yeah, and the way that we do it is unlike other cities, and there's the foam party is a cool little pit. It shoots foam in for 15-20 minutes, and then you play around in it, and then they vacate, and then they go through a cycle. So it's kind of really fun. It also coincides with our Monday night food truck league, and then also our vendor market that night. So there'll be quite a few things to do. Bring the kids out, register them for the foam party, let them get wet, let them have fun. And then just come out and enjoy some food, enjoy the vendors, and I mean it's going to be a beautiful Monday night.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One quick plug: we posted this on our social media. We mentioned it, I think, last week, maybe the week before. But right now we're updating the city's parks and transportation master plans. Right now is a great time for public input for both of them.
Yeah.
On our website, herriman.gov, or on our social media, you'll find links to public-friendly pages for both of these plans where you can kind of go peruse, like, what's going on, what have we had before. You can enter in comments things you want to see. You want to be able to put in your input, and our teams on the other side with our consultant and city staff and the different subject matter experts will take a look at that and formulate the plan updated for 2025.
Yeah, so this is something we do every so often. It's always good to look at your plans and make sure that you're planning to build what you want to build, and get your city to develop the way you want to. So it's critical, especially in our parks plan, because we want to do a lot of things, but our budgets aren't that big. So we need to make sure we have the things we need, want, and then push forward the next ones. And it works out great when we have grant money from the county, the state, or other entities. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So. Both of these plans, and probably any city can relate, but we have plans and dreams, and here are things we need, things we want to do, and our budget doesn't necessarily match up with all those things. So the city council has to prioritize every single year. And he mentioned there are grant opportunities. We try to get some of that outside funding, but it's just a constant reprioritization. But we have to have these plans in place in order to get that funding a lot of times and be able to set a direction.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get grant money on what they call a shovel-ready project. So we need a plan for it, we need to prepare for it, and say, hey, this is what we want. And if they give us money, great, we can do it. If not, we got to revamp that plan. But we have to have a plan to start with. So.
Yeah. This is getting a bit long, but I do want to get to no dumb questions. Victor wrote in last week. Actually, it took a few days to ask the question to people who needed or who had the information. Anyway, Victor wrote in, with the insane amount of wind that we get in Herriman, have we considered putting up windmills? I assume windmills would be very expensive, but it would be nice if we could get something out of the wind instead of just tumbleweeds.
Yeah,
I can relate. I have so many tumbleweeds that go in my yard, so totally get the question, Victor. We did reach out to Rocky Mountain Power to see what insight they have here. First, the city doesn't do power at all. That's just not in our realm. We don't really touch that. So there are other people who would have those ideas, and you're right, the windmills are very, very expensive, including the land that they're on. But Rocky Mountain Power said they don't currently have any plans for windmills out this way. It is possible, theoretically, that a third party could come in and buy land and put up windmills if they want, and then Rocky Mountain Power would purchase that power and put it in their grid. We don't have any indication anybody's interested in that, but that's how that would work if someone was interested.
Yeah, so I kind of chuckled a little bit when John asked that question, because that's what my normal job is, renewable energy. And so windmills are very proactive and one of those resources that work in a total thought process of solar, wind, water, and all those renewables. It's great. It's a great resource. We're just very limited on space, location, and it's not the city's purview to create power or be a power entity. Other cities have other power companies such as Provo or Lehigh, but they have done that for decades, and they're a coal, natural gas fire, carbon fuel. So great question. We love it.
Out of the box.
You know what? Yeah, it makes us think. It makes us go back to the drawing board. Like, hey, is this possible? Maybe, right? But it's not the city. So,
and not anytime soon. Either.
Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. Start that process. So, I think that's the last question.
Yeah, that's it. But all sympathies on the tumbleweeds.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, tumbleweeds. I mean, it was windy a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you that. It was windy,
Yes.
especially during our town days. Yeah. John, we're going to be closed. Well, we don't have any other meetings this month except maybe planning and zoning next week, but no city council meeting because it falls so close to our holiday.
Pioneer Day.
Yeah, so we got Pioneer Day coming on the 24th.
You would usually have some big plans for that, don't you?
Yeah, I always do. Yeah, I love it. We have a great neighborhood party, and so it's super fun. Yeah. I would invite everybody, but then my wife would be mad at me.
That's fair.
So it may be a not invite sort of thing. So
watch from afar.
Yeah, if somebody knows where I live or they know the area, they're probably already in the tune. So, but yeah, so that's super exciting. We've got that. The city offices, however, will be closed. So you guys get a day off too, which is great.
Looking forward to that.
It is a Thursday, so that's always a weird week on a holiday. But yeah,
we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's definitely enough for today. There was a lot to go over and some things we wanted to make sure the public understood, or at least was aware of. So, City Council Member Teddy Hodges, District 2, thanks for taking some time this afternoon. Thank you for listening and watching, and we'll catch you next time.